Where's the agenda? Sorry.
Next is land acknowledgement.
Yeah, let me just pull up the agenda real quick so we all have it.
All right, there we go. We were streaming.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, I really like Anna's background.
Thank
What
you.
is that?
I remodeled.
Yeah.
It's yeah, I really like, it's like there's a Zoom background of libraries. So yeah, but yes.
Very nice.
Thank you. My fantasy home.
hey,
Why
you
not?
know, that's the best way sometimes is to have a fantasy home because it's so easy to clean.
Yes.
All right, so let's go ahead and share. Hello, Jack Flynn.
Hey, Tom, how are you?
Oh, fine. All right, so we've established that we have a quorum. We will now go to land acknowledgement. Let me show that on the screen. Yeah. Okay, John, you want to read this for us?
Sorry, I was eating.
I'm
You mean-
sorry, John Fox. Sorry.
Okay, just a moment. I was eating, sorry. How do I get rid of the little corner? I can't see it. Okay, never mind. Land acknowledgement. We pause to acknowledge that the Stonewall Democratic Club of Solano County sits on the land of the Miwok and the Patwin people. We remember their continued connection to this region, and we give thanks to them for allowing us to live, work, learn, and pray in their traditional homeland. We offer our respect to their elders and the Miwok and Patwin people of the past and present.
Okay. All right, next up is Pledge of Allegiance. So if this is optional, if you don't want to, you don't have to, but I pledge allegiance to the United States
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
And
one nation,
Under God.
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all, someday.
Okay. Nope. Back to the agenda. You all can see the agenda, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So welcome everyone. Want to acknowledge elected officials. John Fox, thanks for being here. And then we have Don Lowry, who is our chair of the Democratic Central Committee and a member as well. Thank you, Don, for being here. And we want to also acknowledge candidates. So besides John Fox, we want to acknowledge Jack Flynn, who's going to someday take over the world.
True.
Yeah, definitely a very low bar. Thank you, Tom.
Yeah. All right, so I did it. Okay. What is this thing going on with that one? That's weird.
Well, I would move that we approve the agenda.
Yeah, so well, I was just looking at this. There was like a weird thing. So okay, we have a motion to approve the agenda.
Second,
Okay. All in favor?
I,
Any abstentions or nays?
Okay.
All right.
The minutes were sent out. I will look to see if we have any changes or additions, or if there's anything that people want to call out.
If you could correct my name, it's spelled Paul,
B.A.
B-A-U-E-R, and then down below, further on that page, it has me as Paul.
Mhm.
It's just missing the A.
Sorry about that.
No
And
problem.
then, yeah, and then one thing I'd like to call out is We also had Carrie Birdseye in attendance. And then we did not have Katie Meissner in attendance. The person representing the ballot measure Pro P was Calvin Harrell.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I saw that as I was PDFing it, and then I was like, we'll catch it in the meeting. Sorry about that.
Okay, gotcha. Don't know
Oh,
how I
yeah.
did that, but okay.
I may have said that Katie was going to join us, but she wound up not joining us. So
What's Calvin? No.
yeah, you have it.
Yeah.
It's under guest speakers. It's correct. It's just up there. Okay.
That was on measure P, right?
Yes.
Right.
He was a pro measure P. Okay.
Okay.
Do we have anything else? Otherwise, I think it's good with those corrections. And thanks again to Joseph for very good detailed minutes. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
With the modification.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second for the minutes as updated. Okay, so
All in favor?
aye.
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 Yeah.
Any nays
Aye.
or abstentions? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll move on to reports. John, do you want to start off with a report on Vallejo schools? What's going on?
For Vallejo schools, excuse me, Caliber's petition went all the way to the state for a high school. We denied them the local level. They got denied at the county level. And then as of yesterday, they were denied at the state level to have a high school in Vallejo. So that was good news. Unfortunately, there was a shooting Tuesday afternoon around 4 o'clock, between 3:30 and 4 o'clock at Vallejo High School. Our Coach Joe is doing better, and our site safety is doing better, thank goodness. It was very scary. I'm sure you all saw in the news.
Yeah.
So it's been a very hard week with that, and just worrying about them, and just when hearing that they're out of the hospital was, and that none of our students and no one got seriously hurt. It just was very, very difficult this week. Other items, we're still working on our strategic plan. This next Wednesday, the 21st, we will be going over for MIT Griffin for their last chance tolling agreement to be initiated. And Tony Abaldi brought up a motion for the agenda about that he wants schools renamed. He's done this a few times, and unfortunately during the pandemic, he's done them. And we said no both times. He's asked for it again. So it'll be on the agenda and next week, the 21st. My problem with it is 3 school board members in San Francisco got recalled because of focusing on renaming schools, and instead of focusing on the budget and focusing on the pandemic and the learning loss that's happened from the pandemic. So if any of you would speak about that you don't feel, or come to the meeting or put an email in to the school district, if you feel against this, I feel it's not the right time. I feel maybe in the new year, maybe, but he wants a new school named in a Filipino name, something Behringer. And I don't know this person, and he wants it at the adult school site. And he bypassed the whole process. He's not allowed to do any of this. We have to do ask the community to come and get on the board and see if they even want to do that, then recommend to the board. So he's bypassed that process. But just to let you know, real quick, I know this is taking a bit, but I am for equity, and you guys all know that. I've talked about all the equity. I've been through the trainings, and the school district's supposed to be for equity. If we're going to rename a school in a Filipino name, okay, well, what about our American Indian students? What about our Asian students that are non-Filipino? What about our Hispanic students that are the ones struggling the most in the district and have unfortunately the lowest test scores. I would rather see, anyways. And what about our Pacific Islander or our others, or what about our LGBT? So if we're going to open up that can of worms that Tony Balding wants, because he says he needs to do this for his legacy. And those were his words. I'm using his words. He is using this for, he needs to get a school named, because he's been on the school board, 12, 16 years? And he needs to get a school named in a Filipino name to finalize his legacy now that he's leaving the school board. And I just find that to be, I'm all for that if you're doing it for Hispanic and all the other ethnicities that I said. And what about LGBT? We've had lawsuits about students that have been bullied and taken out and homeschooled. So if the school district really is for equity, and the school district wants to entertain this from Tony Baldi about renaming schools, then it should be done for each ethnic population that we represent in the city of Vallejo. At least that's how I see it as a board member representing the taxpayers or the citizens of Vallejo. Maybe I'm crazy, but that's my take on it. So if anyone wants to write an email that will be read.
How about you blow it up again? No? All right.
I'll be happy
For a half
to.
hour. All right. You go back to bed?
San Francisco made themselves look like idiots doing it. And it was idiotic. It was like national news that it was national news about them being fools. So
but is there a school that's named for somebody that's objectionable, as in San Francisco or Berkeley, where they renamed some of the buildings? It's not like there's
he just wants to do it.
Asshole that's got a school named after him.
No, he just wants to have.
That's a different issue, and he should have gone through the proper process.
He should have gone through the process, and he's doing it for his legacy, and he wants it for Filipinos. Well, I have a huge problem with that.
Yeah.
And I already explained why. So any of you that would write a letter or want to come and speak during public forum is around 6:15 to 6:30-ish next Wednesday, the 21st. So, and the agenda comes out Friday evening. It'll be out all weekend. You can look on our website to see the item that is going to be talked about that he asked for renaming schools. I'm sorry I'm taking a while on this, but I'm very passionate about equity. Yeah. I do not support just our LGBT students. I support every student. There is no bias. And if you truly do that, you need to walk your talk and have your actions show that and truly represent equity. So anyways, thank you for letting me talk. I feel that's the end of my report. Thank you.
All right. Joseph?
I don't have anything to report tonight.
Okay. I'll save my report for as we get into endorsements, which will be going over the tally of the votes that we had, so people can see how things happen. So we'll go on to that. All right. Moving on. We're actually there. We're there. Good. All right. So let me share the screen again. So it was sent to email to all of our mail lists who we have endorsed. Wanda Williams for supervisor is an endorsement we made in the primary, and that holds true through to the general. So we'll make sure that we need to make sure that we work for that. But the list was sent out. You can see here, the one thing that Anna, thank you for bringing that up, is our for District 4 in Vallejo, there was no one that got over the 50+1 mark for an endorsement, and that's what's required to get our endorsement for the different areas. So this is sort of what happened. And then on the ballot measures, you can see we supported all but one, which is the city of Vallejo. And we actually had the votes to oppose that because it got 52% of the vote. I will go into the The totals here, so you can see Carrie and Terry both got over the 50+1 for Benicia. There was 0%. I'm sorry, this is not like Excel to PowerPoint is not a super thing. For Dixon Unified School District, Ian Arnold got 82%. For Fairfield Mayor, no one was endorsed because the candidate that we were considering did not get over the 50+1 threshold. Fairfield City Council, District 1, Kay Patrice, she got 58%. For Fairfield City Council, District 5, Doris Panduro got 80%. And for Fairfield Sassoon Unified School District Board, District 5, Jack Flynn got 83%. So congratulations, Jack. Telling you, you gotta watch that kid. He's gonna go places.
Thank you.
For some reason the highlighting didn't come through, but on this one, Rio Vista, Robbie Williams got 75%. Sassoon Mayor Alma Hernandez got 89. For Sassoon City Council at Large, Princess Washington got 82% and was endorsed. Travis Unified, Will Wade got 67%. Vacaville Mayor, Jason Roberts got 81. Sarah Chapman got 81% for City Council District 4 Vacaville. And then in Vacaville City Council District 6, some news. Jeanette Wiley got 100%. I was shocked. I'm not shocked, that's the wrong word. I was like pleasantly surprised. Vacaville Unified School District Board, District 1, Nancy Dunn got 89%. Cassandra James, who is on with us, you got 89%. In District 4 of Vallejo, Ravi only got 26%. The other 74 went to no endorsement. For the City Council of District 5, Peter Bregenzer got 52%. For Vallejo Unified School District Board, District 5, John Fox got 86%. And then I gotta copy these over. The detail of this vote is available to members that can be sent out. I will just show this. Can you see that, or should I enlarge? That's what I was trying. Not that one. Starting with Measure D. That got 73%. Measure E, we got 85%. Measure K got 81%. Measure M for Travis got 77%. Measure P for Vallejo, 30% support, 52% opposed, 17% no endorsement. Measure Q, 75% support, 8% opposed. Measure R, 82% support, and Measure S, 67% support. And so that was the way the vote went. And if anyone would like the detail sheet, I'm more than happy to send you a link. It is out on our Google Drive for people to look at. All right. So now that's a report out of the endorsements and the voting that occurred. So thank you. Yes, Paula.
I just wanted to let you know, I checked Chuck Tim's webpage today, and Doris Panduro is finally off of it. She's no longer listed as endorsing Chuck Tim over Wanda.
Okay. What about the other candidate that was listed there?
Oh, they're still there.
Okay.
Tara Beasley Stansberry is still there on Chuck's page, and so is Pam Bertani and Bill Dodd.
And just so people will know, something that Paul and I have been talking about regarding Chuck Tim, he is a decline to state, which is all good and well, but his voting record in the primaries is nothing but Republican.
Mm.
He has voted in the Republican primaries for the past several times. So he may be a decline to state, but he votes on the Republican ballot.
Kind of like Bill Dodd.
Yeah. So sort of lets you know that since we can change our vote, our political orientation or not orientation, wrong word, political affiliation, lets you know what happens there. Yes, Bonnie.
So does Bill Dodd actually vote on the Republican primary, or are you just saying that
Oh,
just like
I'm
Bill
sorry.
Dodd as being a Republican prior to?
No, I was talking, just to be clear, I was talking about Chuck Tim.
No, I know, but Paula made a
And I
comment.
said, Bill, yeah, no, he doesn't vote on the Republican primary, but he is the first name endorser of Chuck Tim.
Right, no, I know that. Yeah, thank you, Paula.
Sorry.
No worries.
Yeah, so yeah, not sure of Senator Dodd's past voting proclivities. So I've heard that he was a registered Republican before a while back. But yeah. Anyway, so moving along. Thanks for that info. One of the things that we need to start thinking about is what we can do for our candidates. Thank you, Joseph, for being here. I'll catch you up on what we did. Joseph needs to drop out because he has to move on. So, one of the things that we need to talk about is what we can do for our candidates. We have Jack Flynn here, who's a candidate. We have Cassandra James, who's a candidate. We have John Fox. So some of the things that we need to do is to help get out the vote, as well as to walk for them and do other things. We can do that through PDI. We have an app that allows us, you can canvas for anyone. I know the candidates are all getting materials. So John is getting materials. Jack, do you have materials yet?
So I have materials through the teachers union. FSUDA, our local teachers union, is backing me. I don't have independent campaign materials, but they have enough for me when it comes to that. I will say, depending on how fundraising goes, I am trying to, I think I can probably do a mailer of my own is kind of the next goal for money.
All right, well, let's talk. I can help with something. And then John is getting door hangers to walk as well. That's his own, as well as there's other ones. So Jack, you're also getting door hangers from the state party too. And same with you, Cassandra. What we need to do is to organize walking and also tabling at farmers markets and things like that. So if you're available for any of that, you can either send me an email or you can reach out to the candidates directly. And this will be going out in an email to all of our membership, 238 people. So they'll be notified that they can do that. If you have events that are going on, candidates, please let us know and we will push them out for you, as well as share them on our social media page. But this is what we can do. The other thing is we have 2 headquarters now in Solano County. We have one downtown Vallejo and one in the it's by the school board office, right, Don? Okay, yeah. So we can that is available for candidates to use, our endorsed candidates to use. So let's take advantage of it. I know the event, we used to have our Stonewall meetings in the one that's the atrium of the Solano, the Democratic headquarters in Vallejo. And we have a item to talk about for that for the next meeting, maybe having it there at the headquarters, which I think would be great. But they can also be used for candidate work things as well as events. So that's something to think about, Jack, Cassandra, John, is those facilities are available to use for events. If you wanted to have a thing like a mailing party, Because, you know, sometimes you can do, instead of paying for a mail house to do your thing, print off labels and do it yourself for certain things, but you can also do a fundraising event as well as a candidate get to know you event, anything else. So, and there are some facilities at these. I think there's a printer at the northern one. I know there's a printer at the southern one. Were you able to get that up and running, Paula? No, that's not like a hedging.
Trying to unmute. No, I spent the time today wandering around the internet, answering emails. So no, I
Okay.
need some help getting a few more tables moved in here because there's really nothing to set it up on.
Okay. Actually, I'll bring a small table for that. I'll see if we can get that down there this weekend. I won't be here. I'm traveling out of town, but we'll see about getting, I got a small table that used to be in where the drinks canisters was at home, in our house here. We'll see about getting that down there to set that on so you don't have to use a big table. But we have a printer down there and we have a printer at the district headquarters. But regarding printing walking lists and stuff, I know some people want paper, but there is an app for PDI that your volunteers can use. I just need their email addresses and names and we can put them in and plug them into your project that I already have set up for the different candidates. And they can log into that and then they can go and walk a house in your district or any precinct that is in your district.
Will it show which ones they did so it won't be repeated
Yes.
by, oh, okay. thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, it tracks.
PDI is great.
Yeah, you helped out Wanda, right?
Yes, I did. It was great.
Yeah. And did you help out Sharon too down here?
No, because they never got their shit together.
Well, I know they did some, they just didn't. Yeah. So that's the next thing we got to do is we got to organize for getting this pushed out. So it's real easy. You get an app on your phone, you log into it with your email address, and then you are presented with projects and you choose the project if you are associated with that project, and then you can just go out and walk it. It'll even give you a map to where to go to drive to start the precinct walk. And then there's also a questionnaire on there. So if you run into someone who is at home, you can ask them questions, or you can just mark that you've dropped off literature. So that at least people know. And then if the questionnaires that I have set up are fairly generic, like if you want to support the candidate, you want to have a yard sign, you want to have any kind of thing, or volunteer as well. And then all that comes back in and we can send that back out to the candidate because it can be reported on by the project and sent over to the candidate. So that is something that is available. And as an IRO for the central committee, we can make sure that all happens. Okay. Back to the agenda. So that's how we can support our candidates. That's pretty much all I had. Did anyone have any other questions about endorsements or anything? Okay, we'll make this quick then.
And non-endorsed people get a hold of that app or they don't have access?
Not through the central committee. They can pay for it, yes.
So someone on the central committee can't give it to some people just because they're friends? Or they're on someone's campaign?
No, I see Don has his hand up.
Because I know people that are on one of my opponent's campaigns that's on the central committee. So I'm just wondering, can they give my opponent this information and use it?
I don't think they can.
No, because right now it's Don and myself that control it. Don?
Yeah, I just wanted to repeat the message that I gave at United Dems, reminding that, you know, especially for the Southern headquarters, this is the first time we've had one in over a decade. And quite frankly, the Vallejo headquarters needs to be used by our candidates and by our clubs and by our volunteers, because otherwise, you know, with the after action report, we'll ask whether it was worth spending the money. So I would just encourage you to as endorsed candidates to get in there and use it, as supporters of endorsed candidates to get in there and use it. Or if you want to have postcarding parties or phone banking to outside areas that are, again, supported by the Democratic Party, please use it. Otherwise, we might decide that it's not worth spending the money on in 24, 26 and cycles beyond. So make the most of the opportunity.
It sounds good for like phone banking, like you said, or organizing people. So thank you for that suggestion.
Yeah, and we do have there is also, along with our PDI, there is also a phone banking app. So again, we can set up the project, they log into the project, and then they go off and they can phone bank in your district. And it's one of these things where they're just presented with the number, they press they use it on their phone and they press the number and it calls, and then they can move on to the next one. Again, they also have a survey they can fill out as they're talking to the constituent and move on from there. So let's put that technology to use. So for our next meeting, I would like for us to meet at the Vallejo headquarters.
Yeah.
It's going to be- Oh, okay. Sounds like I know Barbara would be happy about the two. It will be October 20th, but we might call a special meeting or a work meeting to talk about things, or not talk about things, but to do things at the beginning of October. So look for that to come out as well. And then we can also, if some of us want to go up to Fairfield, we can leverage that, but let's use the Vallejo one as well to start with, and then we'll move on from there.
Okay.
And I think, Don, do you know, or Paula, is the Northern Club using the headquarters in Fairfield?
Well, they had a meeting on Monday night and it was Zoom.
Mm,
Same thing with United Dems last night.
okay.
Although my new guy Riley tells me that he could help me with the technology to do a hybrid meeting so that some people could still show up by Zoom, but we could do it live.
Well, I actually have everything to do that already.
Cool.
So we can set it up because I have the cameras to do that. And then we've got internet down there as well. So we can
And the
actually.
internet down here works great, by the way. Thank you.
Yeah,
We should also plan on having an election night party here.
Yes.
And Tom, would you set up for hybrid? That would be really nice.
Yeah, we can definitely set up for hybrid because I don't think Zoom's going anywhere. Because we need to have that. And like I told you, Paula, I have that bright white backdrop that we can set to do broadcasts so we can actually do that. I have a projector as well, so we can actually project up on the wall, and
That would be great.
yeah. For the Northern one, I'm not sure. I only got enough stuff to do one location, but we can see about what we can do for the Northern one as well.
Can I brag about the Northern Club for a minute? I went to their meeting on Monday and they voted to spend $15,000 to send a postcard for their endorsed candidates. And I'm still in awe.
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome, Don.
That's pretty good.
Well, I know that they sent a postcard for the 2020 election cycle as well for their endorsed candidates.
Yeah, we've spent a lot of time and effort over the last 2 years raising the money to be able to afford to do it. So there was a lot of hard work by the entire club to be in the position to support our candidates.
It was great. It was very impressive.
Okay, so what we may not have 15,000, but we can still do a postcard writing, and we can actually get them printed. We do have enough in the kitty to get postcards printed that we can send out. And the other thing that we can do, and we've done this before, is have our slate cards made that can be handed out at events. They're always nice and brightly colored. So we can do that as well now that we are back in the mode of being in person. With like farmers markets and all that, because in 2020 we were all, I think, still reeling from, oh my God, if we take a breath, we're gonna die. Kind of thing. So cue cough. But yeah, so that's great. So I guess we need to talk to Jeannie up at the Northern Club and develop a strategy like that for that. But wow, Northern Club, you go. All right, so we will be meeting at the, oh, was that someone? No. Okay, we will be meeting at the Northern Vallejo headquarters, or the Southern Vallejo headquarters next month, as well as look for something to do for postcards, or if we're doing something for our candidates prior to that as well, because it is later in the month. So any items for future agendas? So we're moving on now. That was the only part of new business that we had. So we will make this quick, quicker than normal. Please email them to the e-board at Solano StonewallDemocrats.org. If you have anything for the agenda, it needs to come in before the end of day on Monday prior to the meeting. That way we can get it out. So announcements. Who's got announcements? Jack Flynn.
Thank you, read my mind. So as y'all know, I'm running for the Fairfield Sustained School Board. This campaign's starting to heat up a little bit. We're seeing some really good support on my side. Unfortunately, we're starting to see some support materialize on my opponent's side. So the response to that is to persist. So we are doing canvassing pretty much all the time. We have dedicated times on, usually it's Wednesdays and Thursdays after school. And then Saturdays, we have like 10 to 12, 12 to 2, and 2 to 4. We're meeting at the FSUDA office. If y'all don't know what that is, it's 1000 Texas Street, Suite D, downtown Fairfield. If you're interested in the information, I would be happy to send that out because, and Tom, I'll send this out if you could pass this along. It's I'll give you the list of days and times. But yeah, and if any of those days do not work and you want to do a different time, it's very flexible. Just call me or email me, and I'd be more than willing to meet up with you and give you the lit to drop and the PDI to use. So I'd love to do this. We really need to win this race because honestly, right now we only have one pro teacher school board member on the FSUSC school board. It's just one right now. It's just Anna Patero, and that's pretty much it. So if I win, we get a second. If I win, we get 2 pro teacher allies. And then hopefully down the road in 2024, if we can get another 2, we can actually get a majority on the school board, which is very commendable. And, you know, of course, LGBTQIA issues as well, like flying the pride flag year round. It's all dependent on us actually having people in government to do it. So canvassing is definitely in that. I'll send Tom the information.
Okay. Yep, do. And also include, you could include secretary at Solano Stonewall Democrats.org. That goes to Joseph as well. That'd be great.
Will do.
On Fox.
Yes, for me, I have a similar request. If for people that want yard signs in District 5 and to help precinct walk, I would greatly appreciate it. And if you know people that can help precinct walk or that want yard signs in District 5, which is Glen Cove, Beverly Hills area, across 780, along 80, all the way up to Cave Elementary School. So if you know people that live in those areas, please let me know for a yard sign or to give flyers. I did get some sad news today. Mina Diaz, who's the area 3, my area, she all along was not answering me since February for an endorsement. And then she was going along with being neutral between Tony Gross and I. She wasn't going to endorse anybody. Unfortunately, I found out today that she's going to endorse Tony Gross tonight because she's upset with me how I am about Measure P. She's very upset about me. So it's unfortunately, it seems like it's more out of spite than who deserves an endorsement. It's more out of you're not supporting me as an individual. So that's kind of sad. That's kind of sad.
I'm still disappointed. This is Miguel. I'm very disappointed. Yeah.
So that was very hurtful that she's doing something out of revenge towards me. So if anyone can help with walking or yard signs, please just let me know. I greatly appreciate your support. And thank you very much.
Cassandra James.
Hi, everybody. It's the same request as the other two. We do group canvassing every weekend, Saturday, Sunday. We meet at my house, actually. And then there's also the flexibility to do it during the week. Also, we do phone banking every Wednesday for an hour. But again, that's also flexible. And we do have a volunteer meeting every Thursday just to check in with folks, make sure folks are doing good within the not within the district, but just overall. So again, District 2 is the Marsh, Meadows, College Park, and the Crest. I do live in the Crest. And there have been some volunteers that are uncomfortable with coming over here, but thankfully we do have headquarters. So we will be utilizing space so they could pick up some stuff over there and walk in areas where they feel more comfortable. And then we are having a fundraiser on October 8th. We're just finalizing the details before we put it out. And then today, I just learned that along with the Stonewall endorsement, thank you, and I'm very honored. I also got endorsed by SEIU 2015.
Oh. All right. Okay. So Paula, is there anything else, Cassandra? Nope. Okay.
I can send a calendar too. So
okay.
We have it all in the calendar Excel sheet with colors and everything. So yeah, I can send that over.
If you could, is that online so it can be shared?
Yeah, it could be shared via Google, a Google Doc.
So if you would just send the link and I will share it out. And then we'll also put it on. Is it okay to put it on our webpage, or do you want us to just use email only?
I'm okay with it going on the webpage.
Okay.
I'm okay with it.
We're
yes.
trying to do like a candidate support resources page for that. Okay.
Okay.
Paula?
Cassandra, if one of the things you're finalizing is a location for your fundraiser, there's the headquarters. But what I raised my hand for was to ask John and Cassandra to get me at least one yard sign that I can put up down here in the big windows. We can't put them down by the door, but we can put them up here. And literature to hand out to anybody that wanders by.
Okay.
And I won't be here tomorrow. I'm sorry, I'm going to be gone all day tomorrow, but most Fridays I'll be here.
Okay, I'll get you a yard sign. Cassandra, I wanted to ask you real quick, do you support my campaign or support me?
Can we talk about it? Because I know we needed to have a conversation about supporting me as well. And I haven't able to have a conversation with you yet.
Okay, I know your manager is against me, so I just was curious what your feelings were. But anyways, thank you.
Dion? My manager is Dion Carter.
Oh, someone on your campaign. It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
All right, Don.
Yeah, I just also want to remind all of our Central Committee endorsed candidates to please share your campaign information, your fundraiser events, etc., either with Tom or myself to make sure that they in turn get flipped out to the Central Committee. Again, don't forget that to communicate with your local Democratic Party. Thanks.
And also remember for the Central Committee endorsed candidates there is the hashtag Make Solano Blue in 2022. So we want to use that. We're going to be leveraging that on our socials. So please do that as well. That will tie everything together.
Cool.
Okay. All right. Any more announcements?
Move to adjourn.
Can we adjourn with an announcement that October 20th is our next meeting?
Okay.
At the
headquarters.
At the headquarters. Okay.
And on Zoom. It will be a hybrid meeting.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. With that, we have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
Aye. All right, thanks so much for
Be
joining.
well.
folks.
Good night.
Buenas noches.
Bye. Good night.